started with a postpartum strength workout today. Hopefully you've done a little bit of core rehab before we get into this workout. If you haven't, go back and check out some of my videos to make sure you're prepped for that. I'd recommend starting this video at least 6 weeks postpartum, but everybody's different, so we're making sure that we have that core engagement. We're gonna go through some of that today. We'll start with some activation, core exercises on the floor, and then we'll get up and we'll do some work with your dumbbell. Your dumbbell range can be anywhere from a light to moderate weight. We're gonna do some of the main movement patterns for strength, not getting the cardio up too much today, really just focusing on the main strength patterns to get you reintroduced and start to get you stronger and building those patterns back up. Okay, so we're gonna start on the floor. We're gonna come on to hands and knees. So from here, we're gonna go into our bear lifts, okay? So I'm gonna have my hands right underneath my shoulders, my knees are right underneath my hips, and from here, we're thinking about that neutral spine. So you can kind of go through a couple cat-cows for me, and then you're gonna find your neutral spine. So from here, we're gonna think about taking that big inhale into our rib belly back, exhale out through your mouth, draw those hip bones together. We're gonna keep tension in the lower abs. We're gonna lift the knees up to hover, 2, 3, back down. Reset your breath. Inhale, exhale, engage deep core, lift the knees to hover, keep tension in your lower abs, back down, inhale, exhale, out through your mouth, draw those hip bones together, lift up, good, back down, inhale, relax, we got 2 more, exhale, engage the deep core, lift up, hold, keep that spine neutral, inhale back down, take a nice inhale here. Exhale, last one, draw the hip bones together, create tension in the lower abs, hold the knees up, inhale back down, good. All right, so now we're gonna come onto our back. We're gonna go through a couple bridges. So we're making sure that our feet are right underneath our knees, and hands are just gonna be flat on the floor. I'm thinking about doing a little bit of a pelvic tilt as I bridge my hips up, and then control back down. So exhaling as I bridge, inhale on the way down. When we exhale and come up into that bridge, we're making sure we're not arching through our back, and we're keeping our ribs stacked over our pelvis as we drive the hips up, gently pushing through your heels, feeling the glutes, a little bit of hamstrings. Good, coming up onto the shoulders, same thing, make sure we have a little bit of core tension. So I'm not driving through the hips, I'm really thinking about driving through my hips and not my low back. Good, we're gonna hit 2 more. Exhale as you come up. Inhale back down, relax, last one. And inhale back down, relax. All right, we're gonna come onto our side now. So I'm gonna go into a side plank. I'm gonna have my elbow underneath my shoulder. Make sure you push that shoulder away. My knees are bent and feet are behind me. So my knees are at like a nice little angle here. I'm gonna start with a nice inhale. We're gonna exhale, engage the core, lift up, and then inhale back down. So I'm exhaling, lifting my hips up. Inhale as I lower. Exhale, lift, feel the obliques. Inhale back down, 2 more. Exhale. Inhale down, I'm almost pushing my hips forward, last one. Inhale back down, good, switch it over. So I'm kind of thrusting my hips forward just a little bit as we go into the side plank. So on the other side, make sure that shoulder pushed away, elbows right underneath your shoulder, knees out in front. Inhale to prepare, exhale, push up and forward. Inhale back down. Exhale up, inhale down. Exhale as we lift. Exhale, push those hips forward. Good, 2 more. So pushing forward without arching through my back, just kind of driving the hips up. Last one. Good, inhale, return. All right, we're gonna go through those all one more time. So on your hands and knees, neck is nice and long, shoulders down away from your ears. Find that neutral spine. So my back is pretty flat here. I'm gonna take a nice big inhale. Exhale, engage the deep core, draw those hip bones together, lift the knees, hover, 2, 3, inhale back down, exhale, hold, lift, 2, 3, back down, inhale, exhale, draw those hip bones together, create tension in the lower abs, back down, 2 more, inhale, exhale, good, inhale back down, last one. Exhale, engage the core, draw those hip bones together, hold the tension in the lower abs as you lift the knees, and back down, good. All right, let's go into our back. We're going into that bridge again. gonna start with a little pelvic tilt. Drive the hips up, inhale back down. So I'm thinking almost tailbone to ceiling as I drive the hips up, but still kind of keeping a neutral spine, right? We want to make sure we're not pushing through the back, and I'm really driving up where my hamstrings meet my glutes. Making sure the ribs stay down too, right? So I can kind of check in on my ribs here, feel them, and make sure they're not flaring open. So I'm keeping the ribs down. 3 more. Good, open your mouth as you exhale. Last one. Inhale back down. Good, let's roll off our side. We have the side plank next. So elbow underneath my shoulder, knees out in front. Take a nice inhale to start. Exhale. Drive the hips forward. Inhale down, exhale. Inhale back down. Good, so we're prepping the obliques and the whole core system here before we get into our lifts with the weight. Last one. Good, relax, switch it up. So I always like to do a little bit of core prep and some glute work before we get into our strength training. Shoulder down. Here we go, inhale, exhale, as you lift. Inhale down. Drive those hips up. 2 more. Good, last one. Good, rest it down. All right, hopefully you feel ready to work. You're gonna grab your weight. We're gonna start with some squats, okay? So we're gonna go through some goblet squats. I'm gonna hold the weight out in front. I'm thinking about inhaling as I go down, exhaling a little bit of core as I come up. Okay, so we're gonna hold our weight out in front. Elbows are gonna stay tucked in. My feet are about hip distance apart, whatever feels good for you. Okay, and then we're gonna inhale, slip the hips back, exhale. So inhale, slip those hips back and down, exhale up. So you're only going to a depth that feels good for you, right? Don't feel like you have to go too low here. We want to think about core engagement as we're coming up. And you're like pushing through the feet as we stand. Good, nice and controlled. Keeping the chest up too. Making sure we're not rounding or falling forward. 2 more. Drive through those feet to stand. A little bit of core as we come up. Last one. Good, rest. All right, now we're gonna go right into a row. So I'm gonna hold the weight in one hand. Same leg goes back. I'm gonna rest this arm on my forearm on my knee, and I'm gonna maintain this weight. And then I'm gonna exhale, throw to hip, control that down. So I exhale, inhale back down. Exhale, you row towards your hip bone, keeping that chest up. Good, nice and controlled. Give a little squeeze at the top here. We got 1 more. Good. Sit it down, push that. Put that forearm on your hand, on your knee. Arm hangs. Exhale, row. Back down. Good. So thinking about squeezing that mid back, keeping your shoulders down, away from your ears here. Good, we got 2 more. Good, rest it down. All right, so those are our 2 exercises we're gonna go through first for a circuit. So take a second, grab a quick drink if you need it. We're going back to the squat. So we're gonna hold the weight up here. Feet are about hip distance apart. Same idea, we're inhaling as we go down, exhale as we press. All right, here we go. Exhale, drive up. So the weight out in front is gonna work our core a little bit more. Holding that weight out in front of you. Make sure it's not pinned to your chest. We wanna work the core a little bit here. Drive through the legs. Remember, you're only going as low as feels comfortable for you. 2 more. Keeping that chest up. Last one. Good, rest. All right, we're going back to the row, okay? So same leg is back, resting this forearm on my knee. Take a second. All right, here we go. Row to your hip, control down. Good, we need a nice strong back here. Keep the shoulder down away from your ears. Good, we got 3 more. Squeeze as you row, control the way back down. 2. Last one. Good, rest. All right, other side. Get yourself all set. Good, chest up. Exhale as you row. Good, nice and controlled. Squeeze that back. Good, make sure those shoulders stay down away from your ears. Core is gently engaged. 3 more. 2. Last one. Good, rest. All right. We're gonna go through 1 more of that, okay? Take a second, catch a breath. Okay, and then let's go back to the squat. Here we go. So holding that weight out in front just a little bit. Elbows stay tucked in. Get your feet set. Think about pressing out from the knees first as you inhale. Exhale, stand. Exhale. Good. Drive down, exhale. Use that core as you come up to stand. Keeping your chest up. 3 more. Good, you're going at your own pace here. Last one. Good, rest. All right, we're back to the row. So back leg is straight, resting that forearm on your knee. Take a breath here. All right, grab your weight, and here we go. Right to your hip. Keep that shoulder down, making sure you're not pulling by your boob. We want to pull by that hip bone. That helps keep the shoulder down and work the mid back more. Good, 3 more. Last one. Good, switch it up. All right, other side. Grab your weight, exhale, row. Squeeze, good, keep that shoulder down. 3 more. 2. Last one. Good, rest. All right, I want those big movement patterns out of the way. Get your heart rate up a little. You didn't rest much in between, so that's gonna get the heart rate up, working the muscles. Okay, 2 new exercises we're gonna do. A little bit of a combo move with this one. We're hinging and then doing a curl, okay? So what it's gonna look like when I hinge, my knees stay soft and I'm pushing back into my glutes. And then I come forward, okay? When I come forward, I'm not thrusting here. I'm just getting tall, okay? A little glute squeeze, nothing crazy. And then we're gonna curl at the top, okay? So you're holding your dumbbell here. All right, feet are about hip distance apart, maybe a little bit closer than you do with your squat. Knees are soft, and here we go. We're gonna inhale as we sit the hips back. Exhale, come up, and curl. Good. So inhale, keep that weight close to your legs as you sit the hips back. Exhale, curl over the top. Inhale, back, keeping that chest up. Back is nice and flat. Gently squeeze the glutes at the top. Good, exhaling as we drive up. Good, we got 3 more. Keep the elbows closed, shoulders down, elbows closed when we curl. 2 more. Drive those hips all the way up. Good, last one. Exhale, drive up. Good. All right, we're gonna take it to the floor. We're gonna do a little bit of like a plank with a dumbbell drag through. Okay, so this is gonna require a bit more core engagement. So I'm gonna be on my knees, and I'm thinking my shoulders and hips and knees are in a straight line. You don't want the butt up here, okay? So you're gonna dig your toes in the ground, let the hips come forward, engage your core. I'm gonna grab the weight, opposite, drag across. Switch. Opposite, drag. shoulder. Last one. And then we're gonna take it into a kneeling push-up. Okay, so I'm gonna come down and press. Inhale down, exhale press. 3 more. Keep the core engaged. 2, last one. Good, rest. Alright, so that's our 2 exercises. Now we're gonna go through again, right? So the hinge can be one that sometimes people can feel in their back. So we really want to make sure that we're expanding through the glutes, right? I want to make sure I'm lengthening through my glutes as I sit my hips back, and then I'm just gently squeezing it into the shoulder, right? So make sure you're thinking about that as we go through. Alright, girls, here we go. Shoulders down, keep that weight close. Inhale, sit back. Exhale, come up and curl. Good, inhale it back. Exhale, drive up. All the way curl. Good, push into those glutes. Big stretch in the hamstrings here too. So we feel the stretch in the hamstrings, glutes. Squeeze as you come up gently. Good, we got 3 more. We're keeping the core engaged just gently as I hinge back. Anytime we're in that hinge, we want to think about a little bit of core engagement. 1 more. Exhale up. Good. All right, let's take it to the floor with your weight. So your weight's set up underneath your hand. Toes are dug into the floor. Bring those hips down. Make sure your shoulders stay over your hands the whole time here. Drag that weight. Good, breathe. Nice and steady. Good, nice and controlled. Don't let those hips move. Hips down, glutes and gently squeeze. 1 more per side. And then we're going into the push-ups. Good, rest. So hands are under your shoulders, elbows are coming back at a 45-degree angle as you bring the chest down. Exhale, push. Core engaged, 2 more. Good, keep that core, drop the hip bones together. Last one. Good, rest. Okay, we're back up. 1 more round. Deadlift to the row. All right, here we go. Knees are soft, shoulder distance apart, shoulders down away from your ears. Inhale as you sit back. Exhale, drive up, curl. Inhale back. Exhale. Squeeze the glutes gently as you come up. Chest is above the hips. Hips are above the knees. Good. And tall at the top. 3 more. Get a little bit of core as we're in that hinge. Little stretch in the hamstrings and glutes. And then you squeeze. Last one. Good. All right, all the way down. Let's take it here 1 more time. Hands are set up underneath your shoulders. Dig those toes in. We're going to drag across. Nice and controlled. Keep those hips nice and level. Don't let it open up to the ceiling. Good, think about drawing the hip bones together. Keep tension in the lower abs. Breathe out through your mouth. That's going to engage the deep core. A little bit more. 1 more per side. All the way. Good. All right, take a second. Get that core engagement. We're pushing up. Inhale down, exhale push. Keep your head up. Don't reach your head forward. 2 more. Last one. Good. Let's sit back, child's pose. Reach arms long, sit your hips back. Take a nice deep breath here into your big mid-back. So think about breathing where that bra strap is. Expanding through your ribs. Let it go. 1 more. Exhale. Slowly fill yourself up. And that's it for today. Nice job on that strength training program. Hopefully you guys felt that in all the major muscle groups that we're trying to work here, and you're just going to keep getting stronger. Nice job.